if you look at predictors of performance, actually there was a wonderful study that came out recently that looked at Olympic athletes versus those who fell a rung or two short.
Yeah.
Right. And what they found, it was a long-term study. So what they found is that when they were younger, if they had that intrinsic motivation, meaning like joy, the process, like showing up because I want to master this, right?
Yeah.
Versus I just want the scholarship. I want the accolade. The higher the intrinsic motivation, the higher the likelihood they made it to the highest level. And all that comes back to is those are the people who are going to show up. And in fact, you look at, again, research outside of sports. I talk about it in the book a little bit, is psychologist Ellen Winter looked at prodigies and phenoms in like math and science, like kids who are doing crazy stuff at a young age. There's enormous high burnout in phenoms,
Sure,
right? Because they have a lot of pressure. You think they're going to be great, etc. The ones who made it had what she called a rage to master, which was not a rage to win, not a rage to achieve, a rage to master. And that master came with high levels of intrinsic motivation. If instead they were, in it for like the money, the accolades, the achievement, or if they had a parent or a teacher or a coach who was pushing that stuff, they didn't translate to the next level.
Did you say a rage?
Rage.
That's an interesting word, though.
Well, what it gets at is if you look at performers, sometimes we call them like obsessive.
Yeah.
Right? Where there's this like single-mindedness. And I had a bit of this as a runner,
course.
right? I was like, I'm going to run, forget everything else. Like, I just want to, train harder, blah, blah, blah. Like, so what she's getting at is sometimes they have that.
Yeah.
But what we know from the research in psychology on obsession or passion is that there's two variants. There's a passion that is obsessive, that is a little bit destructive, that comes from like this external, that almost comes from a place of like, fear. And then there's what researchers call harmonious passion, which is you still have that like, that drive. You're still like almost single-minded, but the underlying fuel is a little bit different. And we all have both sides, right? But what's different is that like, if you go too far in the obsessive side, you're probably going to head towards burnout or like just getting tired of the thing at some point.
Well, yeah, I'm just thinking there's a difference between like, and I think by rage, like burning would be a synonym there, or drive would be a synonym there, but it's something more intense than just an interest. But yeah, the difference between a drive to mastery and a drive to, say, dominate or to be famous or to win even, it's very different. Because one is sort of about the thing, and then the other is about what you get at the end of the thing. Yeah.
That's the difference. And again, like there's all this psychology that ties in. So if we have that drive for the thing, research tells us that it activates both of what we call an approach and an avoidance motivation.
Yeah.
Meaning we're driven towards the thing, but we've got a little bit of like fear of like, what if I fall short? What if I'm not good enough? On the flip side, if we have that mastery approach, we don't get that avoidance.
Yeah.
Because often what happens is like we're driven to see our progress in the thing. So it's not a threat if like we fall a little bit short. We still made progress. We can still look back and this is successful endeavor.